Well, it is hard to believe, but it's been 20 years since the genocide took place in Rwanda. As the week of mourning wraps up, we thought it's time we check in with some Saskatchewan residents living there. Eddie Moveneza married a Saskatchewan woman. Now their family rotates between our province and the land of 1,000 hills. Eddie is a trained trauma counselor who has started an organization called Centerpiece. Thanks for joining us this morning, Eddie. Now, Eddie, can you just describe what the atmosphere in Kigali was like this last week? I mean, so many memories, so much hurt there.
Yes, this last week was a different atmosphere altogether. And it's an indication that I think after 20 years, healing is beginning. People are free now to express themselves as individuals, recounting what happened to them on camera, in meetings, and everywhere. And this is something we haven't seen in a long, long time. When people begin talking about their past, there'll be a lot of people screaming. We didn't see a lot of that this time. It was really amazing to see what has happened in 20 years.
Yeah, some good forms of change there, Eddie. I have to ask, though, I mean, you're saying you were at the stadium. That's where a lot of the international leaders came to remember the 20 years of the genocide. I mean, as a Rwandan, is it also frustrating to see that people are there now, but they weren't there before?
It feels good, even if it's a long time ago. They were not there then, but also to see them is comforting that it's a bit too late, but at least something is being done, and they were there to support.
Absolutely. I want to ask, I mean, I heard about a torch that's been carried across the country the last 3 months, visiting different communities. Maybe talk about the significance of that.
That torch was taken to every district and were carried by young people. And they will come from that district, the kids from that district will carry it to the next district and hand over. That we have passed from darkness, now we are beginning to see the light.
Very beautiful symbol, Eddie. I want to ask, you work with children at Centerpiece, the organization that you and your family have started there. How do you explain the genocide to kids that were not even alive at the time?
It's not an easy thing to explain. They will come to the meetings and listen to the stories of people who would be recounting what happened, but it's not very easy for them to understand. But the memorial, as you remember it, has been a place that is educational. Everything is laid down, and there are certain age that could go there and understand. But also there's a program which is set by Ibuka and other organizations where they send people to make it easy for kids to understand a little bit about the genocide. So that is also happening around the country in schools.
Eddie, I have to ask, I mean, so many Saskatchewan people waking up this morning, they feel sad, but they also feel far removed from Rwanda. You know, it holds a special place in my heart. I lived there for a good portion of time, but why should people in Saskatchewan care about what's happening in Rwanda and how they're growing and changing?
They should care because this is to do with humanity and the destruction of humanity. We are all humans. There is no way we could not care. If it's people in Saskatchewan that had the genocide, I would definitely care, because people in Saskatchewan are human beings just like me. And what happened here was inhuman. And that's why we should care. And say the same phrase that never again, if it's here, if it's in Ukraine, if it's another country, we should stand by that word, never again, that humans could be destroyed to that level.
Eddie, we appreciate your time. Thank you for all that you and your family do in terms of counseling and trauma counseling out there. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.